Hello, Guilherme.
Hey man, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. How are you doing?
Excellent, excellent. Thanks, man. I missed you last time you came to Paris, France. I think early fall you were playing there with the Galsworth.
Yeah, we played yeah, I can't remember exactly the date. Well, it's been too many shows last
Yeah, I
year,
know.
so I can't remember. I think it was before London, so it was already in the second half of the tour. Paris was amazing. It was the first time we played in Paris. I think it was one of the only European capitals we never played at, and it was just amazing. Le Petit Bain is an amazing venue. I didn't know it was a boat just until we got there, and it was packed. Such a beautiful audience and venue. We had a really good time in Paris.
Nice, nice. How was the last tour? You just well, first of all, let me congratulate you on Mirage and all the work you've done video-wise for I think Salve and Mantle.
Thank you.
You've been pretty busy 2022
Hmm.
with the release and promoting the release, and you've been doing the. I've seen you. Was the first time I've seen you was at the Hellfest,
Oh, cool,
the
cool.
last Hellfest, and amazing, amazing. I mean, I love the record, but the live is just like another dimension to the music.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, man. It's been a very well, it was a very busy year for us. Very dictating in terms of the steps we had to do, all the sacrifice we had to. We had to endure in order to tour so much, in order to do all the things we needed to do with the Mirage record, and I think we just pulled it off exactly as it should. People enjoy the record. All the work we did video wise, promotional wise, even with the intense touring we we did. I think everything came together into a fantastic release, also with the label and the agency. I think everybody worked really hard for what we managed to accomplish with the Mirage record. So yeah, I'm very happy with what we have so far, but we're not done. We still have a massive touring year that will start in 2 weeks again. So it's just we're just halfway with Mirage. Honestly, we have so much to do and so much to grow with this record on the road that I'm well, we're still very excited about this record, even after more than 100 shows with it.
How was the collaboration with the Season of Mist? How did it start? I think is this your second work with them since Limbo? You work with them as well.
Yeah, it's the second album we released with Season of Mist. It's been an amazing home for us. It's people we really respect and love to work with, people we daily talk to, ask for advice, bring new ideas, and they're very involved in everything we do. It's important for us to feel um, that we have a good core of people that respect what we do and like what we do, but also have a very critical opinion, very structured opinion on the industry side of things, that can also teach us more about what we need to do. Um, but yeah, I think it all started a few years back when we were um, still touring with the Unsettling Whispers album, the first album we had, and we had the opportunity to do our first proper European tour with a band from Season of Mist and from Doomstar, so um, two agencies, well, and label that we the two that we work with today, and I think it was since then that the label got to know us a bit more, and because we were touring with a band from their roster, and during that year, I think we did well in terms of showing what we got. And just a bit before that tour, which this was December 2019, yeah, we had an album that was Limbo ready, and we had an open door to sign with Season of Mist, which we did. And as I said, I'm still very, very happy with that decision.
Now you've just come back from a pretty big tour in South America. Was this the first time you hit South America promoting Mirage?
Yeah, first time in South America of our lives as musicians, and as well, ever. None of us had ever been to South America, so everything was new, refreshing, and very exciting, but also very, of course, being from Europe, it's kind of well, you always go with this fear because it's difficult. Some of the countries are a bit difficult, political, also cultural wise. You can't go everywhere that you want to, like you do it in France or the Netherlands or even Portugal. You got to be a bit careful the neighborhoods you cruise in, and yeah, we were stepping into South America with that, well, specific idea, and in the end we were so welcomed there. We never felt unsafe. The shows were absolutely brilliant. We had some of the best shows of our lives in Latin America, and the crowd is completely wild, exactly as everybody said.
Yeah.
That Latin America had some of the best crowds in the world, and well, so far probably the best. People really are there for the live experience of watching a show, feeling a show, and really diving into what's happening in front of them. And I think it's something beautiful to see in today's world, where you don't have to, where people don't take live music for granted. Even after COVID, I think that reflects a bit more in that type of crowd, because, well, if you tour constantly in Europe, and if you go to countries like Germany, it's really easy to experience the fan that, well, I will not see the band in the tour, but maybe, well, in 2 months they will tour here again, or they will play that festival. So I can choose when I can see this band, because I know they will be here in the summer or whatever. Not for Latin America, not for Asia, not for some of these parts of the world, because they don't know when they will be able to see this band again. And that's just not for us. Everything that comes from another continent, they really embrace it. They really gift you with such an amazing presence, and that we feed so much from that energy from the audience, that it's just a beautiful combination for very intense performances, and we really loved being there.
Like you said, just don't take anything for granted, and then just really embrace the opportunity to see bands, because they don't get the opportunity to see every band that they want to see. So that's why they've got that reputation for the last, I think, 30 years or 40 years, maybe 30 years at least, of being amazing crowds.
Yeah, and you got to understand that some of these countries are, well, we also have that now in Europe, but these countries have difficult situations every now and then, and it's just amazing to see how they can be so much passionate about art, even if their country faces difficult political problems, or cultural, or they don't have that many bands that just break through the country, or it's not a country that really values art in itself, but you still see people that embrace art as their own, something they really dive into, and it's just beautiful to see. It's all those things that you're not really expecting to witness that much, but it really happens in such a passionate way that I was floored with some of the things some of the conversations we had with people, some of the people we met along the road. It's just amazing to see how passionate some of these people are, and it's not just music, it's not just a record, it's sometimes it's something they really embrace as their own, as much as you also do with your art. It's theirs also, and you can't take it from them. It's something very beautiful to see in today's world, where people just embrace art in such a passionate way.
True. And how about the so-called black metal scene, whatever that means today? I know it means different things for different people. But how about the South America? Do you see a difference with the European, like, new wave of, I don't know how they call it, these days, but the new black metal? I know you've been vocal about that in early interviews, where black metal might be heading or whatever. And do you see a difference in Latin South America compared to Europe, for example?
I think it's a fairly good reflection of what happens in Europe. We toured with modern bands. We toured with bands that we could clearly see that they were a bit influenced by some of the things we do, and we were very happy to see that. And it's great to see a band that will open the show, and they come and they give you. They're always very vocal about, well, giving you gifts, and they want you to hear their record, and that they are inspired by this, or they did that because they also liked what you did, and it's great to see. I honestly don't have any problems with that. But again, if it happens with us, it also happens with bands like with Watain or Mayhem. So they also have a very broad spectrum of subgenres or even types of black metal. So we toured with we played in this Mexican black metal festival where the promoter had like at least 15 bands a day. We were headlining the festival, and all the bands sounded different. You have one thing very very graceful to see is how some of these bands embrace their culture and those native old instruments as something to be to have a special place in the music they play. So we saw a lot of like really old, crazy, reinvented instruments inside a black metal track. People just going nuts with all kinds of different instruments, some sounds that we never fucking heard in the past. And I think it was very refreshing and very interesting to see that it's not just an electric guitar, bass, and drums. They also create something fresh. It's something that I wish the world would open their eyes to a bit more, to what these countries, what Mexico does, what El Salvador does, because you can find pure gems in these countries. Of course, they don't have the open world to just tour as much as they probably wanted to, but it's still you can find really really interesting acts in these countries. I honestly I don't separate it from Europe. It's creativity is everywhere, man, and as long as you're passionate about it and truthful to what you feel, you will create something that other people will understand as your own, and see the passion that you have for it.
True, man. Now your next leg of the tour, I suppose, of the promotion for Mirage, are you going to Greece? I'm not sure. I couldn't confirm the dates that you have coming up.
Yeah, we're doing this small Baltic run in Latvia, Estonia, and Finland.
Right.
Then we're flying to Greece for 2 shows, and then we have the US, our first US tour with Rotten Christ. Yeah, so it will be us, Rotten Christ, Carach, Angren, and WADA for a whole month in the US. Something we worked very, very hard for this to happen, and finally we are able to go to the US
Have you toured before the US during the limbo?
No,
No.
no, we never been
Okay.
to the US. So it's great. It's great to in November or late November doing our first South American tour, and then in February we can do our first North American tour. So we kind of feel like we are opening our arms and touching different parts of the world in a way that we believe we should. So it took us time to do these things. We evaluated, we declined a lot of things, but I think what we're doing pays off in the long run with a band like us, and I'm very happy we're able to do this, and all the festivals we already have for this year. And yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening, some things that we didn't reveal yet, but this promises to be an even bigger year for us than 2022.
Sure. I mean, talking about that, actually, you took, I don't know if you can say risks or whatever, but you took liberty with Mirage to drift apart from any genre, you know, sort of barriers or frontiers. I mean, you took
Mm-hmm.
a different approach, I think, in terms of sound and particularly songwriting, I think.
Well, it's part of the growth as an artist. It's not like we wanted to sound different. I don't think we sound that different. We sound more um, aware of what we are as artists. It's something that the only thing that I took from the writings of Mirage is that we play black metal not because we want to be the fastest band in the world or the most aggressive, excruciating, chaotic band in the world. We play it because it has this very intense, cathartic feeling for us and I
Mhm.
speak for myself and my bandmates. It's about the explosion of feelings and thoughts. It's about the performance. It's about for 40 minutes or 1 hour on that stage, being completely yourself in a way that you can't be in today's world. So sometimes you don't need to be the fastest band in the world, but you can create a very minimalistic approach to the song and still have that same aggression in terms of feelings and in terms of the atmosphere that you create for the song. And I'm talking, for example, what we did with the Mirage song. It's the middle section of that song is exactly what I'm talking about. It's minimalistic. It has like one or two notes, but it's something that it really has a very special place in our hearts, and that's why we are playing that song now. We started in South America, and it will be part of our lives from now on in a live situation. It's so again, I don't think we sound that different. I think we sound more grown up as artists. We mastered some things about our sound, some things about the way we approach um, what we do as artists, what we write about, how we see the concept we started to create for us, and it's good. It's good because we don't feel lost. We feel like we are finding something special within each album, being in the writing process or the lyrical theme or the whole concept of the album. It's a more visual album. It's a more minimalistic album in terms of music. It's not as compressed as Limbo. It's an album
Mhm.
that has way more dynamics, way more ambiances, way more atmosphere. It's a more atmospheric album, in my opinion, but it's still a very liberating and aggressive album. For example, Salve, I think it's still the most aggressive and excruciating song I ever written. It's it's pure aggression and fury for a certain period of time in my life. So it's again, it has a bit of everything that we were feeling during the writing of that album. So January 2021, and it's not dated yet. It's still some of these songs are still very present in our minds, and they still play a big role in how we see the world and how they reflect upon it.
No, I agree completely. Salve is probably the most brutal song, I think, as far as I'm concerned, that you've put out so far.
Yeah, it's a big roller coaster.
When it comes to the tour with the Rotting Christ, do you have anything? Are you approaching this tour differently? Not because it's the United States, but
we gotta be realistic. This is the first tour we do in the US. This is the tour where we want to show that we deserve to be in the US with our fans, our small but still very fascinating legion of fans that have been following us since the beginning, or just started following us with the Mirage record. We want them to also feel like we are a band that can put on a show, and with all the things that we are doing in Europe, in for example South America, we just did. So being the opening band, it's hard to bring your A game all the time, but we know about this. We've been an opening band many times. We've been headliner many times, so we know how it feels, and we know what we need to do in order to surprise people, in order to put on a very still intense and special show for these people. We know that we don't have a full hour to play every night. We might just play 30 or even 35 something minutes, but we are picking very special songs that some people never heard live, and we are doing something we can also be proud of, and something that will certainly carve our return to the US after this. This is what we want to do, and we worked so hard to finally go to the US that we will not fucking waste this opportunity, by all means.
For sure. And let's not forget Canada, because they get mad when they forget about them.
Yes, also Canada. Really looking forward to Canada. Yeah, Canada will be special. We have good friends there. I can't wait to meet all the people that been on hold, and some people that we met before the pandemic, and it's been on hold to just meet them again. Well, it is what it is, but I'm really looking forward to the tour and to see re-meet and meet the people that we want to meet during the tour. Old friends, some colleagues and other musicians we toured with in the past that we never saw them again. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Great. So that will be from February 16th to March 14th. So pretty much a whole month in North America.
Yeah, it will be a whole month tour, almost no days off. It will be intense. It will not be pretty, but it will be special, I would say.
I'm sure we'll laugh on the road anyway. It's going to be, you do the whole thing, actually. You go coast to coast, so it's a full tour. So you're going to be pretty busy out there.
Yeah, it will be a very busy one, but the one we need to do. By all means, it's exactly what we want to do, and with such an amazing package as that one, I think everybody will be very happy in the end, because it's so there's a lot of talented musicians on this tour. We love all the bands that we are touring with. Can't wait to see Rotting Christ every night, and it's great to also be touring with two bands in the label, Carach, Angren and Rotting Christ. So we're amongst friends, we're amongst family, and some of these people we know already since ages ago. So it will be a very smooth, still very exhausting tour. Of course, touring is not easy at all.
Yeah, I'm sure.
On the level that we're doing, but again, everyone all these bands are known for their hard work, and I know that will bleed through the audience, and every show will be the best everybody can do.
Nice, man. Looking forward to it. You have some festivals booked for this summer, starting June. I know you're gonna start, I think, playing in Portugal around this time.
Yeah, we kick off the festival season in April with Inferno in Oslo, and I know we're doing a festival in the Netherlands, and then we have 5 to 7 festivals. I know we're doing Copenhagen, Alcatraz, Summer Breeze,
Nice.
Full Force Festival. So we're doing big festivals this year, and I'm really looking forward to those, because I think we did really well last year with the festivals we did, with Hellfest, with Midgard's Blood, with Brutal Assault, or even Partisan, or even Wacken. We know how to go by through these festivals. We learned a lot last year with these festivals, and well, now we can do something bigger and more temptive for this year. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the summer season.
Hellfest was fucking insane, man. I was at your gig. Actually, it was my hour and a half off, from work, and I went to just enjoy the gig from the side, and it's fucking amazing. I knew the album because we've been listening to quite a bit around here, but then when it was live, it sort of seals the whole thing. When you see a band live, it just reach another level. Like, the music is great on the record, and then you see a band that's gonna be on the long run.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Hellfest was the beginning of something really beautiful for us. I think it was the first big festival we ever did in terms of that scale. Of course, nothing can be compared to Hellfest, but it was the first festival of the summer season, if I'm not mistaken, and it was just amazing to play it in the beginning of the afternoon for this packed temple stage. We were not expecting that.
Yeah.
I thought at 1 p.m. it would have like a couple hundred people, but it was completely wild. Such an amazing festival. I'm so happy we lived that experience. It's something that will be forever carved in my memory, and the boys as well. It's a lifetime thing.
Well, thanks. I appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this. And,
thank you, man.
Looking forward for the US as well, US tour, and looking forward to see you and meet you maybe during that tour.
See you there, man. Really looking forward.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.